Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is our second show of The Real Tea. This show is going to be a weekly segment that we actually just started, and we're going to be spilling the tea on what's happening in the real estate market. We're going to cover things like some of the biggest transactions of the week. We're going to talk to a different agent, get some insights from them, and also let them feature any hot listings that they have. So I'm going to introduce our guest for this week. It's Lisa Resnick over at Burgan Real Estate.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. I really like this idea. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's really good because it gives agents an opportunity to produce content to put on their social media pages, and we're really trying to build up the real estate vertical here. So any agents out there who are interested in possibly doing future shows, connect with me on LinkedIn or reach me on my email. You can find it on businessjournaldaily.com. So
definitely, I think it's a smart opportunity for agents to take. And it's not like spilling the tea as in like, hey, this is what happened with this transaction.
Yeah. Spilling the tea as in what's going on in the real estate market. It's a really popular vertical for us. A lot of people are interested in real estate, and this gives agents and brokers a platform to really talk about what's going on. So we're going to dive into the first section of our show, which we go over the biggest transactions. The last show, we went over the biggest transactions in May, but going forward, we're really going to hit on the biggest transactions that happened during the week. So to start in Mahoning County, the first biggest transaction was at 10 Longview Circle, and that was in Beaver Township. The school district was South Range School District, and that was sold at $374,000. And the second one that I'm going to talk about was in Trumbull County, and that was at 110 St. Andrews in Cortland, Matthews School District, and that sold at $281,900. And then the third listing was in Columbiana County, and that was 22413 Hartley Road. That was in Alliance. West Branch School District, and that sold at $215,000. But so Lisa, just like to kick off the second part, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, some background, and really how you got started in the real estate industry?
Honestly, I kind of fell into it. I have my BA from Youngstown State University in political science. So from there, I went to go work on one of my friend's campaigns. Actually, she is from Trumbull County herself, and she was running in a primary. It was a 5-way primary, including herself. The other were 4 men. That would then be the person, in which she did win, to run against Steve Latourette. So that was my first venture into politics after college. And then from there, I went to work in Washington, D.C. at a political mail firm. So all those annoying mailers, I helped to get those to you. So from there, it was not a great year for the party that I signed up to work with. So there was a magnitude of applicants out there and a competitive market. And I was very new to the scene. So I went to a temp agency because at the end of the day, we still have our bills to get paid. And actually, ironically, the person who owned the temp agency was also from Trumbull County. So he set me up with a temp to permanent job at a commercial real estate firm, Low Enterprises. And that's where it all started. So I first started off in commercial real estate, absolutely loved it. Acquisitions, leasing, development, the whole gamut, which was awesome and exciting, creating neighborhoods and the atmosphere and aesthetics that would draw people in, and businesses and retail and homeowners was a great opportunity, phenomenal learning base. And I was lucky enough to work for a corporation that also helped fund and my education even further in real estate. So you had your real property administration courses that I took, as well as getting licensed. And then went to work in, fast forward, went into residential after having 2 kids super close together in age, and mistakenly thought that I would have a little bit more time and more of an adaptable schedule with having children and being a mom and trying to balance everything, but found out pretty quick that you could actually end up working a lot more hours, and it's not your schedule, it's everybody else's schedule that you're following. You know, your mom's a real estate agent.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I feel like, you're always on call, you're always on the clock, always have to have your phone with you and, be there for your clients. But so I understand that you work for Burgan Real Estate. And why don't you talk a little bit about that and why you chose them as your agency?
So moving back to the area, I honestly didn't know a lot of the real estate companies that we do have here. I knew that there was Keller Williams based upon there being Keller Williams back in DC. So it was and it was also a quick transition. So here in the state of Ohio, you're required to pick your brokerage before you're licensed. Now in Virginia, DC, Maryland, you can get your license and then interview with the various brokerages. I mean, to each their own. I obviously would prefer having my license first because then I'd be a little bit more experienced in knowing all the other brokerages out there to then interview with. But I mean, you just go with the flow. That's not definitely one of the battles to be had. But so I was able to meet with only a couple when I first was licensed here in Ohio. And then after being here and working in the real estate environment here, I was exposed and learned about how many more we have. And to be honest, I had a deal with John Burgan, which was absolutely phenomenal. He was great to work with. He was funny, professional. Like he had everything that you could want to be on the other end of a deal to make sure that we're both working towards what both of our clients want. Yeah. So I then at that point decided to pursue Burgan Real Estate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I always see their signs out everywhere. So it's a great agency to work for, definitely.
It really is. And I like the fact that it's not a corporation. It is family run. So it's not like they're quicker to respond to new environments and new marketing and everything else versus another firm, which may have to get approval and go up the chain of command of management in order to happen versus opening the door and talking to either Sue or Patrick and saying, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome to be able to have those opportunities like that. That's definitely great. So moving on from there, I know that as a real estate agent or a broker or realtor, you need to figure out ways to reach your buyers and sellers. So what are some marketing tools that you use as a realtor to reach potential audiences?
So I think that there's different marketing techniques. Of course, there are those in which you are selling your properties, in which we utilize social media more than anything. In all honesty, any sellers out there should make sure that their agent is doing a bit more these days than just inputting it into the MLS, especially because buyers now take a bit more control, that it's not just an auto email that goes to them. They still, along with those auto emails, will take hold themselves and look on Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, whatever it may be. So it's always good to have other techniques besides that in order to get the maximum exposure for your seller's property. Yeah. And that is like broad basing it out there and making sure that it is nationally worldwide seen, because people are more transient now with their jobs. They don't necessarily have to drive to an office. Their office can be at home. And then of course there is us, the agents, trying to get our names out there. There are definitely various routes in which agents do take. when I wasn't practicing in the metro area and around DC, I did buy into the lead system. It was Zillow for a while, because to me, financially, the numbers made sense. Here, I like to try to keep it more with friends, referrals, and family than anything else. To me, with my business plan, that makes the most sense. Moving back to the area after being gone as long as I had been, I definitely was trying to think of new ways to get my name out there. And with my experience in working in real estate, I also learned quickly, do not start anything that you're not willing or wanting to do. Like, for instance, door knocking is a technique that is utilized by agents. It's you just knock on your neighbor's doors or whomever that you want them to know you, and you introduce yourself and everything like that. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So, and I know that if I set that as part of my business plan, I'm not going to be consistent with it, because it's not something I'm really wanting to do. So I thought of things that I was passionate about that I would then be consistent with it. And that was, well, of course, there's Homes and Hops, my love of beer. So there's that. And it's my love of local small businesses. I mean, I love the eateries, and I'm not saying I don't partake in going to a chain now and then, but nothing is better than knowing the local owner of a restaurant and having their food, or going into a shop, a small town toy store, because those are the people that are going to know every single thing about everything that they have to offer. So.
Yeah, definitely going back to what you said about, with everything going on right now, people definitely are going to be staying at home and working more in that aspect. So they're not really restricted to having to live in one specific area. So that really, speaks to the fact that you have to have a digital presence. And, there's Zillow and things like that, lead generation services. But here at the Business Journal, there's a really great market for a real estate vertical to really take off. And we definitely are a great platform, and we can help agents across the board with that. I know there's billboards and social media, but to have a legit platform that you can really, build your brand up, that's definitely an opportunity here. So.
It definitely is, and I have utilized it, the after hours, and plugging in my properties as well. And anybody in marketing also knows that you need to have at least 7 touch points. So you just can't do mailers, you just can't knock on doors. You have to be able to have 7 different ways in which you reach out to people. Yeah,
that's our live market. It's a great resource. So, yeah. So kind of tracing forward again and talking about just the real estate market in general, how are today's low interest rates affecting the real estate market in general?
It's definitely been positive for both buyers and sellers, right? Yeah. So I have experienced with more than a few of my listings so far during this time, multiple offers. So you have to be experienced in knowing how to submit offers when it comes to a situation where the agents that's listing is letting you know there's more than one offer. And then you also have to be experienced in how you present those offers to your seller to make sure that you're maximizing on all areas. Yeah.
And aside from the low interest rates, I also have heard around that there's not a lot of inventory as well, for houses. It's very small, the inventory right now. So is that true?
I mean, I can tell you at the beginning of our stay safe, stay at home, COVID orders that we received, that I had a few of my listings that decided to hold off. So that was March 15th, 16th. So, and we touched base a few times in April, but then come May, they were like, you know what, we can't hold off any longer. Let's put this back up on the market. So I think when it comes to inventory, we had been experiencing a bit less than what we're normally used to for a bit longer than the pandemic has happened. So the pandemic probably hit it a little bit harder, but I think that right now people are filtering back in, which is interesting because typically out of all the markets, it's interesting. So in real estate, we have the winter, the summer, and the fall and spring market. Spring market is obviously the best market because people want to find their next home before the summer hits so they can still have fun during the summer and be settled in by time school starts come fall. So spring is typically usually the best market to list your house. Actually, I say it's good to do it right before the spring market.
Okay.
But it's definitely take note the fact that the spring market has crept up into the winter months since I would say for the past 5 years. So really the only major downtime is between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And even then there's still activity. And then after that, the second lull would be your summer, but this summer is going to be completely different, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody else has been holding off and now all the properties are coming back on. So it's interesting to see how everything is playing out.
Yeah, definitely is interesting to see.
There's nothing mundane about this profession at all.
No. And I feel like it's constantly changing and every day is different. And, it's a great profession to be in.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Speaking of listings, do you have any hot listings that you want to share with us today?
South Raccoon is super cool in the fact that it is that 2 acres that's bordering behind the Get-Go and Starbucks.
Okay.
So, and currently with the Township of Canfield, it is identified in the front of the property as residential, the back of the property ag. However, the Township is very much wanting and would approve for that to be rezoned to commercial, which would honestly make much more sense with its current location. And with that property, it's amazing what you can do because everybody talks about the frontage over 224 and Route 11. But really, if you scroll back up, you have that frontage. Technically, it's like 400, I want to say 487 feet that you technically have that's behind the Get-Go and Starbucks. So it's just dependent upon how you look at it. To me, that would be your most exposure and frontage would be that way. So you could honestly do a lot with this property. You could have your nice little restaurant there, maybe do a little strip plaza, or if you wanted to, you could be able to even tear all that down, pave it all the way through, and have an easy way out from all those other properties that would have some other avenue out onto 224 when they're going westbound, and a much easier time being able to turn back on to 224 from Raccoon Road for straight from whatever commercial property is over there. So it's a pretty awesome property and a pretty cool opportunity for someone.
Yeah, it definitely is. And just for our viewers watching now, we are actually covering commercial real estate in our upcoming July edition. So if this interests you at all, or if there's any agents out there that really want to, promote their listings, it's a great place to do that. So why don't we go to the next one?
So the next one is 7743 Spring Lake. This is that property in our area that people always drive by and they're like, that's the house. Like that is it. And it is absolutely spectacular inside and out.
It looks beautiful.
It is beautiful. It has an extraordinary amount of character and it's impeccably maintained as well by the current homeowners and the previous ones as well. But it's about 5.5 acres, maybe a little bit more, and it has a lake in the backyard with a fountain, and it's a fully stocked lake. And then it has the entertainment barn off to the side, which also has stables below. And there too, I reached out to the township in regards to having a horse, and they didn't see any issues with that either. But the property on the interior is a little over 7,500 finished square feet of space.
Wow.
Yes,
Big.
it is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that character, the brick. There's
Yeah.
the main stairway up from the front door, which is also a half door. You can open the top or the bottom, but there's the living room. That's where most of their Christmases were spent.
Pretty hardwood floors too. I love that.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely. And every window that you can see has such a spectacular view to the exterior. There's the kitchen, you have the nice wood beams, the granite countertop. I mean, you have the Sub-Zero fridge. Like, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. The fireplace, how cozy is that?
Yeah, I love that.
And your eat-in, plus you have your formal dining room in the back.
Oh, wow, that's so pretty. I love the yellow. Yellow is my favorite color.
It is. So it's Copper Wade. It is the architectural firm that designed this property. Copper Wade is most known for the historical properties in the historic district of the Glen and Boardman. So this is absolutely amazing. And you would think with a home that was built in the 1950s that there wouldn't be a lot of storage space.
Mm-hmm.
Like the closets are ample and they are deep. So this is the sunroom out. This is my favorite room to hang out in. It's gorgeous.
I like those sliding doors too.
Yes, it's perfect. This home it's perfectly set up for just a nice cozy environment for your family, in addition to if you're into entertaining as well. So off from the master bedroom right there is the closet right there, which is awesome. But from the master bedroom, which you didn't see, you could also walk out to a deck and see the exterior. And what you'll see, the surrounding property is evergreen trees. So there's also a ton of privacy. Oh, there's the wine room. Who doesn't love a wine room?
That's so pretty. Wow.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
And that's the downstairs, which is more of your informal lounge area, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another room off to the side there that could be utilized as a gym or another bedroom if you want. And there's the barn. So this barn has entertained and held many venues for the family, as you can see. Wow. And the gazebo out back for when you want to just go outside and chill. And there's the
yeah. Wow, this is a really great listing. It's beautiful, and I love the little balcony up there.
Yeah, that's from the master.
Okay. Wow, really nice.
And it's also, this too is in a phenomenal location. You feel like you're on the countryside, but really you're a hop, skipping away from the highway, from other eateries, shopping, grocery. You're not really that far away from anything, which is nice.
That's really nice. Good location. I think you had said you had one more listing you want to share with us today?
Well, there is another one. That one's Sleepy Hollow. Now, this one was a property that was purchased as an REO, and that is a bank-owned property.
Okay. That
the current seller has gone in and done a magnitude of work. If you could see the pictures of the before and after, you wouldn't believe that this was the same home. He did all new siding, windows, refinished the floors, did the German schmear on the fireplace that we see, completely renovated the kitchen. You have your nice sunroom with the picture windows in the back. I mean, new deck. Yeah. I mean, he's just he's just done an extraordinary job to this home. Finished square feet is a little bit over 2,300. That's including the basement. But this is a ranch home, which is nice. And if over there on the other side, if you go towards the garage, there's that other door where he added laundry hookup there as well. So you could have laundry on the basement level, or you can have laundry on the main level, which is nice. So this is the master, where he also made a half bath into a full bath as well. And
I love the barn door too. The barn door.
Oh, I know, it's perfect. And the basement level also has a full bath down there as well, and also has a walk out or walk up basement. So it's really nice. If you wanted to, you could probably even rent out that space below.
Yeah, it's so nice, and it just looks so new inside, and it's a really great property.
Now that one is currently just went under contract, but the seller is still allowing showings.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Is there anything else you want to say to our viewers before we end the show?
I hope everybody stays tuned. Like, I think that this is absolutely phenomenal idea, and I hope you are getting flooded by a ton of agents that want to take advantage of this awesome venture that you guys are providing us.
Well, thank you so much, and I hope so too. And like I said, if anyone's interested, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, message us on Facebook, go to businessjournaldaily.com. Just reach out, and we hope this really, helps you, attract a new audience, and it's fun, and I like doing it. I'm happy we started this. So.
Her mom must have impacted her. Getting away from real estate.
Yeah, we'll have to see. She may be a guest. I don't know. But yeah. Well, thank you so much, and good luck, and hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you very much, Abby.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.